Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is going to be our implementation of our mission or Popcorn Trail Part 2. So in Popcorn Trail Part 1, we implemented the idea of numbering our mission through every step and event in the game. So from the beginning, the minute you start the level, you can walk through it and hear some sounds and see some simple animations and be able to understand what's going to happen in your mission. So the second part of this is I'm going to continue that and also just basically talk about my level layout, how to make it look more interesting, how to keep the player engaged, get way more, really just continue the process, but think more outside of just very simple 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, making sure that the scale is right, the player path is interesting. I'm taking the time to put in better looking block mesh so the level's engaging. Put in water, or in our case, the slime that goes in the canal here, whatever we want to call it, the river. Making sure our block out matches the concept image. So let's continue on. So let's walk through what we have. So there's probably been some slight changes since we last looked at our level. This basic walkthrough is similar, except what I'm going to do now is get my player to start here in the stairwell. So my camera clue's here. Oops, did I not move the trigger with it? I didn't move the trigger with it. So let's continue on from that. Let's just start with 1 and then walk through our mission. So let's get our trigger that goes with that first clue, which I did in our first video. Let's get that to match where you intersect with it. Always remember your triggers should be big and cover the entire area you want to interact with. You just build frustration if you have triggers that aren't perfectly aligned and you think your mission's broken, you think your events aren't working, your camera's not working, and really you're just missing the trigger. Let's avoid that. Alright, so this is where I want my player to start. This is very important. Player start is important. I want to see something interesting. I want to be presented with my level. I don't want to start here looking at the wall. I don't want to start here in the middle of the slime tunnel wondering where the heck I am. Start the player in an interesting spot. They clearly understand what's going on. It's an interesting view. So I want to present them with the slime room first. Alright, so our mission is walk in, camera clue, which I'll probably turn into something more interesting like an IGC. Let's see a fly through of the level. So let's put in we'll change that text. Next we have to get through this. I think the end result of our mission will be to get through this door and figure out where the slime's coming from. So we're going to have to turn on the power, which when we do I think is going to fail because the generator over here, which I haven't put in yet, is going to need work. And then we're going to re-hit the generator, and then we're going to open the door, and then we're going to go in here and discover more clues. So I don't think we'll get through the whole thing in this video. We'll probably have a part 3, but let's get started. So my player start is bad. Move player start to where I want the mission to start. The more little mistakes you have in your level, the more unfinished pieces, the messier it is and more difficult it is for people to understand what the final result will be in your level. So you want your development team, you want players, you want everybody to be able to walk through your level at all times and understand what's going on and not have broken mission, misspelled words, bad looking block mesh that they're like, what is that? That looks like a dog bending over. You're like, no, that's my monster. So you need to make sure every little piece is clean and understandable. Alright, camera clue, walk here, I should see my slime river. I don't have my bridge in place. So at this point, what if I was to walk over here and hit this first, and then hit the door?
Access denied. Please try again.
So there's a decision for me. Do I actually want them to be able to hit the power switch without going to the door first? That's one of those mission questions that always comes up. Making a mission extremely linear with doors that open and gate the player everywhere they go unless they do the proper sequences obviously gives you more control of the final outcome, but it can feel very tedious to the player. So for now, I'm going to let them have the freedom, but let us. One thing that I'm missing in here is really a couple more pieces in my level, and look, oh, there's a hole. So let's fix up my level here. Let's look at my concept image. So this is what my level is going to look like when arted. So I have most of the components in here, but let's finish it up. Let's get in the kiosk. Let's get in the bridge. Let's get in. I'm not going to put in the shopping cart or anything like that, or the desk. Let's make sure these pillars are in. Let's fix the hole in the wall. Let's get the slime river in. Alright, for the hole in the wall, this is a static mesh. Let's just make my life easy. And since it's not going to subtract, we'll just make this bigger. Remember, we're working as a block mesh. We're trying to block in the level. We're trying to make it look good, feel good, but at the same time, and look at these pillars. They're not tall enough. So my ceiling went up. My pillars were a little bit shorter. So now they go to the ceiling. And in my concept image here, I have 3 rows, one against the wall and one in the middle of pillars. So let's get that to match as well. Copy paste, drag them over. That looks like a good distance to run through. This wall feels a little too close. See what issues it caused by moving my wall. Made this create a hole. So you would think like, oh, I've got that laid out and it's all good. I'm ready to roll and I never have to touch this stuff again. Nope, that doesn't happen. You're always making changes to the gameplay, to the level. So I'm going to grab these 2 brushes, go into, what is this called? Geometry editing. I always want to see edit mesh mode, which is a Maya term. That's not working. Guess I have to do one at a time. Doesn't like me doing 2 at a time. Drag this over. Grab this guy. Grab this face. Drag it over. Grab this. It's also a brush. Drag it over. I don't like that that's sticking through the wall. It looks messy. Well, maybe I should move them both over since I cloned it. There we go, that looks better. So now we need a row over here. So we do a copy and paste here, copy, paste. And then when you look at the concept image, they're partially in the wall. So it looks like they're halfway through the wall here. Even more so than this back one right here. Alright, now my concept image is looking much more accurate. The one thing I am missing is my kiosk. Let's go back to my kiosk. Or actually create a kiosk. Go back to it. So I'm going to create this kiosk, which looks like a magazine vendor, snack vendor from way back when. I'm just going to start with the cylinder and add a few details. And let's use that term beautiful block mesh. So grab a brush, full screen please, brush, cylinder, make sure I have a material selected, platform. Remember, no checkerboards. Don't try and replace your materials later. Unreal 4 is terrible at selecting and replacing materials in large, what is this word, quantities. Trying to replace your materials on a lot of different brushes at the same time does not work. It's horrible. You have to pretty much piece it together and drag and drop it over single faces. It's really bad. UDK used to be really good at that. You could just select all and bam, replace them. So stick with keeping your materials on everything. Alright, so it's kind of on the corner, and there's also, and you notice my corner here on my slime tunnel is fine. It just has a single angle here, or a simple angle to turn it. We do not need the super smooth setup for this because it's a real pain in the butt to do with brushes. So that's one of the sacrifices. Like, well, I want beautiful block mesh and I want it to be smooth, but it's completely unnecessary for the problems it's going to cause. Creating interesting shapes, which are not hard with brushes, you should do. So let's get my kiosk in the right spot. Looks a little bit big. Let's reduce the radius. So what do I want to do first? I don't want to start sculpting it now. Let's get over there and test the size of it. Let me grab my concept image. Whoops. Hello, concept image. So here I am in the corner. There's some bottles here to use as reference. They look like wine or large beer bottles or big soda bottles. So I'm assuming my guy's going to be standing like, boy, his head will be really close to this. Just looking at the width of it, it's probably 1, 2.5 people, 3 people wide. And it's right on the turn, and then the bridge is here. Let's get the bridge in there as well. So if my guy's standing next to it, he should probably be standing up to this point. Be about 2, 3 people wide. And now let's just put, where's a brush? This is a brush. Copy paste. Actually, you know what the better idea is? Actually, no. This one has to be messy, actually. I was going to say I could grab this negative brush that's making up the slime tunnel and then make the bridge that way because it's matching it height-wise perfectly. But I don't want it to be perfect. It's supposed to be rubble. So for now, and I'm going to do a video on just on beautiful block mesh, I think, and maybe show you some more details. But for now, I'm trying to piece this all together and work on the mission. Because that's what you do, and it can get messy and confusing. So if we look at the concept, the bridge is kind of in line with the rubble, but the rubble trail is a little deceptive because we're over here looking at an angle, and this is a drawing. This looks like it's bigger than what I have, but since I have the liberties to make this section, I'm just going to leave it this size. Comes down and kind of goes right across. It's got a nice flow here for the drawing. And mine, I'm going to move it over. And the concept it's actually behind. This looks a little more accurate. Alright, let's play this. Oh, there's no collision on my rails there. So walking over here, this debris could probably be bigger, but we are allowed to make some gameplay substitutions. This looks good. This looks a little tall, but maybe not. I don't know, I think the scale looks good. If I make it any smaller, I think it might look really tiny. It's in the right position. Alright, let's add some details here. So I'm going to grab this and copy paste it. I'm going to scale it. then I'm going to move it so it's going to create an indentation like a window, just like we see in the, make this subtractive. So the subtraction in there, oh, actually it's very subtle. This would be so easy to do in Maya. Just select the faces and create this little indentation using edit mesh, but not as easy with a brush. This following the contour of the kiosk, the cylinder. It does not have a perfect shape, and it needs to be a little bit wider, but I think it's getting a good idea across. Let's play it. There we go. That's a good setup. Looks wider in the concept image, and oh, that's really high. Look at that. The counter's up to my collarbone. We don't want it that high. Let's lower it. Lower it more down to my waist. And let's see if we make it a little bit wider. That looks good. Alright, I'm at another detail. I'm going to grab my brush again. Copy paste. Scale down. And go up here. Scale out, but only on these two. Can we get it to these two? Yes. There we go. There's these little architectural ridges. Copy and paste. And these are even smaller. Oops, I screwed that up. Let's check that out. I really should move my player start closer. Aha! Look at that. And what am I looking at? As you can see here, we have a little roof on top, and then all these little architectural ridges, and you have another one above, little counter here, another one down, a few more down below, probably a base. So I'm going to put those in real quick. And this is a perfect example of beautiful block mesh. Copy paste. I don't need to make it perfect. This one looks like it's closer to what is above here. Copy paste. There's one here. And then we'll make a bigger one at the base. And let's make it stick out 1.2. 1.2. That looks a little too big. 1.1. 1.1. All right. Looking good. Looking good. Could even put some bottles in there, but I'm not going to do that. All right. My layout is looking pretty good for a first pass, just general scale layout. The height of this is actually shorter than I believe in the concept image. Let's check that out. And the reason I did that was gameplay purposes. I didn't want it to be that high. My head is here, my head is here. So my head is just below the top of it, and the platform is obviously shorter. The wall matches my waist. Wall matches my waist. These stairs I have going this direction. It looks like in the concept it would be going the other direction, but I don't want to run into the post like this. It almost looks like it's running into this, but for gameplay purposes I turned it around. And if my waist was here, I guess that is accurate. If I'm sitting at a desk and I stand up, my head would be about here. So this is actually pretty accurate. This rubble pile just looks really high from this perspective. That's what's deceptive. Alright, let's get back to the mission. Actually, we got to put in our slime water and then back to the mission. Slime water. So the easiest way to put in your slime water is we could grab these subtractive brushes and duplicate them and make them water. Or we could just put one completely under the ground. But I think I'm going to grab these and just extend this one. I'm going to copy paste them. And I'm going to make them additive since they match everything so perfect. And obviously I'm going to sink them down. And now I need to apply a texture. So if you go into your starter content materials, you're going to see a ocean and a lake. So you can duplicate the ocean or duplicate the lake. I'm going to duplicate the lake. And I'm going to call it slime. And I'm going to move it so it's in my tutorial folder. And sometimes I call my folders textures because I've called them textures for so long instead of material. But it's generally the same thing. You can break it into materials and textures. Right now I don't have a whole lot going on, but if I had both, I would break it into materials and textures. Double click on this duplicated material, and this is all I need to do. I am going to change my color from this blue to, it's pink in my concept, so I'm going to make it pinkish. There we go. Subtle, and I also want it to glow, so I'm going to add an emissive color to it. Drag off. Type in constant 3 vector, 3 being RGB, which is the way you make colors. So there's also a color picker, so let's get it to be close to that pink I just chose, so it'll glow pink. Let's see how it does. Whoosh, too intense. Let's tone that down. There we go. Let's tone it down even more. There we go. Save. Back to my level. Click on this. My brushes are already selected. And go to the brushes, which is not showing their material, so I'm just going to drag and drop it on there. Drag and drop it on there. And this guy I want to extend, so I'm just going to go into geometry editing mode, grab the face, pull it out, which it probably won't meet seamlessly there, which is not the best looking. I think I'm going against what I said, huh? Alright, let's delete this one. Now let's see how it looks first. Alright, so hit play. Alright, stretched out, but it's moving. It looks alright for now. When we get to the more beautiful block mesh video coming up, we'll do more work on this. So this is really starting to look like a level, right? Much better. Alright, let's continue on with our popcorn trail. Let's change this text. Let's call it IGC fly through. We're just going to give the level a fly through. And I'm not going to animate that now. 2 is push the door, which we already have set up. 4 is open the door. 3, you're supposed to hit the power switch. But I also want to hit the power switch and then say, oh my gosh, it didn't work. The generator needs to be reset or oiled or something ridiculous like that. So I'm going to make a quick generator object over here by grabbing a brush, selecting a simple material, and what I'm going to do is move one of my materials down here. I'm going to copy one of these so I don't keep looking for it over there in the starter content. Drag and drop. I'm going to make a quick generator, something that looks like a generator. Give it a base. Need a cylinder. Put my snaps back on so I rotate it easily to 90 degrees. Make it smoother, 24 sides. Scale it down. Scale it down a little more. What else does this need? This needs an exhaust pipe. Ugh, it's getting all weird on me. Come on, you. Just making an exhaust pipe here. That look too big. That looks a little big. Got like a muffler on it. Looks alright. This looks funny just sitting here. Let's copy this and just make a base or some supports to hold it up. So it's not just laying there. It's like it's laying in thin air right now. I need this to stick out a little bit more. Whoa, that's a weird face. What's going on there? A little better. Copy paste. I'm going to use that same shape to create like maybe a little control panel of some sort. Alright, this is a demo on how you make your level look interesting. So I'm combining my beautiful block mesh tutorial with my mission tutorial. This is kind of the process you have to go through. Some people are very, very like deliberate and linear about everything they do. Some people move around a lot. I tend to move around a lot. I get inspired to make something look interesting, so I do it. Anything that makes your level seem more interesting, more immersive is good. Alright, there we go. There's our generator. Play. See, generator in the corner. Power switch.
Access denied. Please try again.
Alright, so now what we got to do is get a linear path in here that makes a little more sense all the way to the end. So let us get our mission going here. Alright, after a short pause there, I'm back. Alright, so what we need to do is get our mission working. 1, 2, actually not working, just finished the popcorn trail. 3, this is actually going to be 4, this is going to go back to being 5, then the door opens at 6, 7 will be come in here, and we will look at our generator, this room, which discovers the source of the slime. This machine is pumping slime out the pipes, and maybe over here I'm going to have a cascading waterfall of slime through a giant pipe. So that's the simple walkthrough. So what I'm doing here on this mission is making sure we get the simplest, straightforward from beginning to end text, sounds, maybe some animations, maybe an IGC in there, in from beginning to end. And then the next step, which will be another video, is we'll do even more work like this, make even more objects look good, add elements like slime in the tanks maybe, add more detail to this, add a platform that looks a little bit better instead of a big block, and see, you can hear missing textures because I manipulated the brush. We'll clean up more items and keep adding more elements, but for now I just want to get in the mission as we have it. So let's continue. First thing I want to do is start. So what I've added here is when I walk through that, my text disappears. So I'm not going to have the door button
Access
disappear.
denied. Please try again.
Actually, I will.
Access denied. Please try again.
So once you touch these triggers, I'm going to have the text disappear. And then I need to change the order, so we have to fire up the generator. So let's look how I make the text disappear. So this one's already finished. So now when I go over here to door button, and the shortcut to find this in Blueprint is right click, jump to event, on actor begin overlap, takes me right to Blueprint. So what I want to do here is let's move this matinee. I want to get a function called set hidden in game. So what I want to set hidden is this text render actor, which I've already referenced. But for to remind you, if I touch the text, grab the text render object, which says door button, go back to my Blueprint, right click, hit context sensitive, create a reference. So now this is what I want to hide, and because it's not currently hidden in the game already, I check this box. So now when I walk up and hit it, it's going to hide it. I'm going to do that with the power box as well. So now I feel like I'm progressing through the level. Grab this, go to my power box. I can actually copy and paste this now. This needs to be deleted. Set hidden. This is this. Let's text render actor 4. Yep. Right click, create reference. Check the box. So I'm hiding the text. There's some text I wouldn't hide. I might keep up because they're clues that people might need to come back to. People forget what to do in the mission sometimes. And then the other one would be door opens. So let's go to door opens. Grab the trigger. Is there an event? Let's see if there's something set up. Yes. Door open. So this should probably be in a better order. Let's move this down here. And let's do the exact same thing. Hide the text. So I wouldn't delete the text because sometimes you're going to have objects, IGCs, animations break in your game, and it's good just to throw that text back in there when it's broken so the team can still play through your level and see what's supposed to be happening there. Very effective development method. Alright, so that's really not number 4. What we need to be number 4 is, let's change this one to be so it's going to be 4. It's going to be 6. So what I want to do here is select this. And what I'm going to have happen here is copy paste. I'm going to have new text pop up when you touch this. It's going to say, well, actually I can overlap it, but I'll move it for now. This one's going to hide when we touch this trigger. I also want it to unhide this one. And what this one's going to say is 5. Go fix the generator. And by default, I want it to be hidden. So actor hidden in game. So I want it to be hidden to start the mission. And when I touch it, I want this one to hide. And then I'm going to put a delay here so it doesn't all happen super fast. 0.5 seconds. And I'm going to set hidden again. What I need to do is grab the reference for this, which is selected, right click, reference. So because this one, I have to check this one, hide. And this one I do not check because it's hidden by default. So after that happens, I want to go to the generator, copy paste. Change this one to number 6. fix generator. And because I'm going to fix the generator, I need a trigger volume. Let's just copy a trigger volume from here. Copy, paste. I'm doing this quick, but I should be naming this fix generator trigger, or trigger underscore fix generator. So when I touch this one, we're going to do the same. So we're going to have a trigger that has an event when you touch it. It's going to play a sound at location. That location is going to be our text render object for now. Create reference. And I wish it would automatically. Why does it not find get actor location? Good old context sensitive. Your best friend, your worst enemy. There we go. Set hidden. This is our text render object. Uncheck. Actually, it's going to be hidden to start the level. Hidden by default. Yes, it's hidden by default. Good deal. So after we do that, and I don't answer my phone, we want it to pause and unhide. Which could be laying right on top of it. Hit the power button. So this one's by default going to be hidden again. And this one's going to have a much longer delay. So I can read it. I'm going to put it at 2 seconds. Copy, paste. It's selected. Get a reference. All right, we've done too many steps. There's going to be some stuff broken here, so you got to test as you go. IGC flat through. It's not in yet. Good deal. If I navigate around here.
Access denied. Please try again.
Okay. Looking for 3 since I don't have a camera to show me the power button, which we could do later. Oh, why didn't it appear? Interesting. So this guy did not appear. So did I get this wrong? I better check these, I guess. Check, check. Compile. Go. Good. 1.
Access
2.
denied. Please try again.
So in the final mission, if you're saying, wait, how are we supposed to know to go to the power switch? Yes, we will be adding an IGC. That's another video. We're going to put all these in, and then we're going to go back and add IGCs replacing all this text. We're going to add things that make sure the player does not have to read text. If you intend to have text, awesome in the final game, but you don't have simple instructions like this. Oh, why is it showing up? Set hidden in game. Weird. Debug time. Well, we heard the sound. Let's make sure this one is a sound so we can hear something. So this one's supposed to be repairing. Let's get ourselves a repairing sound. And we'll find something that sounds mechanical. So we're going to want to hear. Let's go to my sound folder. And let's find, I have a generator sound I'll put in there. And then a repair sound. There we go. So when I touch this trigger, let's have the repair sound. Touch trigger, repair. Target is scene component. Target is scene component. So I'm double checking that the node is proper, the right node or function, because if you sometimes you may get something that has a very similar name, but you have to look at the details. So let's do this again.
Access denied. Please try again.
They all hide, but they don't unhide. Very odd. Alright. There's gotta be something going on with the very, very odd. I'm not sure why one is hiding and the other ones aren't unhiding. Let's check this out for a sec. Okay, problem solved. So I couldn't get my text to hide and unhide, and I had the wrong function selected. So if you look at set hidden in game, this says target is scene component. I was connecting my render actor, text render actor to this node, and it was creating this little, I'm not sure what you call this little sub node. That should not be happening. So if I'm using set actor hidden in game and it says target is actor, not target is scene component, which I should have caught, it will behave properly. So let's walk through this again. So we hit play, text disappears. I was just at number 1. Where's number 2? Aha, number 2.
Access denied. Please
That was
try
number 2.
again.
No, number 6. I don't do number 6 yet. Where's number 3? Power switch. Got it. Go fix the generator. Obviously this is a generator. Like I said, in the final mission, we're going to have to clean this up and maybe give camera clues, give better materials to the different areas so people can find what you're looking for. Fix generator. Ah, good sound. Hit the power button again. Sweet. So I should probably hide 5 after 6. So what I need to do in number 6 here is hide number 5, and then if I touch the button. So right now I have you heard that sound earlier. I could actually activate this and not have it sound every time, but I think that's fine. We should actually, so what we got to do now is let's make sure this guy hides after this trigger is touched, and let's make sure that the door power is on, turns on after this is touched. So the problem is right now is I'm not activating or deactivating this trigger, they're just kind of overlapping. So I should probably make this sit in a little bit more, push this in a little bit more. And this is just a cheap early mission trick. Yes, I need to add variables so I know I've fixed the generator and everything, but that's for later. This is step, what, 2 of your mission, of your level layout mission? Alright, so this guy needs to hide after this. So let's go in here. I fixed the generator. And after this one unhides, this is the one that tells me to go hit the power button again. I'm going to set actor to hidden. And it says target is actor. And now I need to create a reference for that text object. So now there's no confusion, that's going to hide. And when I hit the power button door, power button part 2, this guy does not have its text render object. That's why it's not unhiding. So grab this. Door power is on. Create a reference. Alright. Touch trigger, play sound, unhide text. Play. Alright, my starting point's good. First thing I want to see is an IGC fly through. Alright, I'm looking around and oh, my collision's messed up. That's okay, it's still early. Number 2.
Access denied. Please try
I
again.
could cheat and go through here if I want, but that's okay. We're trying to walk through this as we develop the mission. We know that's number 6, which I'm going to leave up for now. Whoa! See, I got too close. We're doing a bad cheat, but that's okay. Go fix the generator. So what we should do is make sure those don't overlap. So again, this is an early development. We can leave that messy stuff in. Later on, I want to go over there and clean that up. Let's try it again. 1. Whoops. I want to come out in a new editor window. There we go. 1.
Access denied. Please try again.
Kiosk looks good. Bridge is in place. Fix the generator. Fix generator. Hit the power button again. Hey, why didn't that disappear? Door power is on. Aha! Door! Got it. So I should touch this.
Access denied.
But that's
Please
okay.
try
We're doing
again.
the cheap way right now. And then, ta-da! We are going to find the source of my slime and finish the mission in here. But that's enough for today. Well, let's just fix this one last thing. Number 5 should go away. Why aren't you going away, number 5? Number 5. Oops, I got the wrong one. Text render actor 5. Aha! Simple fix.
Access denied. Please try again.
Ah, it still didn't go away. Break link. It's not on the door open. Generator fix. Check. Alright, this is it. I promise this is the last.
Access denied. Please
And if
try
you're thinking,
again.
boy, this guy's an idiot, he doesn't know what he's doing, this is called level development. You're constantly working with things like this. You're constantly trying to figure out why something's not working just by missing a checkbox. Hey, it disappeared. Woohoo! Alright. Another video coming soon, and we will, I don't know if we'll finish the level, but we will continue on with removing more text, adding IGCs, and making this mission more interesting. But this is part 2 complete. Your level looks good. It matches the concept image. You've got some beautiful block mesh started. You've got a mission walkthrough, almost A to Z. We've probably got X, Y, and Z to go. Maybe W, X, Y, and Z to go. But tedious as it is, this is level design and mission development. All right, goodbye.